True Value is declaring bankruptcy. This is a sad day for the hardware store that has over 4,500 locations and has been around for over 70 years. But how did they get here? And what does this mean for all of their existing stores? Well, stick around and I'll explain. True Value is a different kind of hardware store. While at Home Depot or Lowe's, you may run into Halloween decorations in July and Christmas decorations in October, True Value is more like the mom and pop hardware stores from the old days. They sell tools, supplies, and building materials, the essentials really. And stores like True Value tend to have employees that know their stuff and really care about their customers.
Behold, Freddie from True Value. His role, making frustrated homeowners champions of their domains.
He's a hardware hero, no job he can't explain. He's a hardware hero, and he's here at True Value.
True Value, here for you.
They also tend to be located in smaller cities and markets where a Lowe's or Home Depot are nowhere to be found. All of that makes the recent news of their bankruptcy all the more concerning, especially for people in those areas. The important thing to understand here is that bankruptcy is not the end. It's really just a chance for a company to restructure, for a company to get a hold of their finances and maybe look for a buyer that could bail them out. And that's exactly what True Value has found. In a recent announcement, they said that they have initiated proceedings to enter into an agreement with Do It Best, which is another hardware store chain, in which that chain offered to pay $153 million in cash to purchase the True Value business. Now, it isn't a for sure thing yet, as True Value is still open to higher offers if they come in, but it could mean that the brand may be saved. In the meantime, though, most True Value stores will stay open as those stores are independently owned and operated. And that's really what makes True Value different. It's not unusual to see a name attached to a True Value hardware store. This means that the store is owned by someone often who is a part of the community, as opposed to a faceless corporation like Lowe's or Home Depot. So how did True Value get here? Well, they're not the only store that has had some difficulties. And really, since the pandemic, a lot of home improvement activity has been down. There's not as many DIYers that are out there looking for supplies at a hardware store. And True Value has said that their sales have slumped over the past few years, and they currently have between $500 million and $1 billion in liabilities. And with their decreased sales, they're just unable to make ends meet. In a statement, the CEO of True Value said this: "We determined that the sale of our business was the path forward to maximize value and best serve our retail partners and other stakeholders into the future. We believe that entering the process with an agreement offer from Do It Best, who has a similar decades-long history in the home improvement space and also operates a focus on supporting members and helping them grow, is the most beneficial next step for True Value." So they hope that this sale to a competitor, but a similar company, is going to be the best step forward to help their individual members grow and the company overall succeed. Now, it will be interesting to see what really happens and if this deal goes through and if it benefits True Value, if they're able to compete with other larger retailers and other companies and stores like Amazon, for example. Now, True Value is not the only home improvement company that has declared bankruptcy in the past few months. In fact, I made a video recently about lumber liquidators and their challenges. Now, it's very different because lumber liquidators, a lot of their own problems were self-inflicted. But there have also been other companies like Bed Bath & Beyond that have had a lot of difficulties. And if we expand to other types of businesses, there have been some other recent companies in a similar boat like Red Lobster and Rite Aid. And one thing that all of these companies have in common, in my view, is that they haven't really innovated. They haven't changed. They're relying on old, tired business models that just aren't working anymore. And when you do that, you end up like Blockbuster. Now, that isn't to say that there is not a space for a mom and pop hardware store like True Value, but it is more difficult to compete in an environment when you have stores like Amazon or Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot breathing down your neck. Stores like True Value really need to lean into what makes them unique, but also focus on innovation and technology that will help them compete with those other companies. Now, I, for one, am rooting for True Value to succeed. I really like the smaller mom and pop businesses business model and would much rather buy from them than from a huge warehouse store. So we'll see how things go, but like I said, in the short term, the stores will remain open while the company works through that bankruptcy and restructuring. There is not information currently on whether they'll rebrand if the deal goes through, but I suspect that they will keep the True Value name and that nothing's really going to change at the store level. But what do you guys think? Have you shopped at True Value? What do you like about them, or what do you dislike? What do you wish they would change? Leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. As always, be sure to like this video, share it with someone you think would find it interesting, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also check out this video here about what happened to lumber liquidators. It's actually a really fascinating story. And also this video about what happened to Craftsman Tools, another fascinating story. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.